Let's dive into this a bit more and speak to international lawyer and church consultant, Dr. Harry Hagopian. Harry, thank you for joining us. First of all, this is significant.
Pleasure.
King Charles has been videoed, as we saw, praying with the Pope. And for a British monarch, this hasn't happened in nearly 500 years. It's monumental.
You're absolutely right. This is huge. And for those of us who were watching the events that were happening during the day, it was awesome. And maybe many people would say, what's all the fuss about? Well, all the fuss is about the fact that, as you mentioned yourself, there was a separation in the 16th century, some 500 years ago, from the Catholic Church. And it was during the time of Henry VIII. And it wasn't even on any theological or religious grounds. It was only on personal grounds. And then in 1534, that is about 500 years ago, an act of supremacy was passed whereby the eighth became the head of the Church of England versus what was before that as the Catholic Church. So 500 years of listlessness, 500 years of uncertainty, at times of acrimony. I mean, there was some acrimony that friends of mine who are much older than I still remember happening some only 40, 50 years ago. So this symbolic gesture of King Charles going to Rome, meeting with the new Pope, and the King himself is no stranger to the Vatican. I mean, he's been in and out of there many times when he was himself Prince of Wales. This coming together, praying together, not one after the other, but praying together, was a symbol of Christian unity, which has basically characterized every single event that took place this day, Jono.
Both are relatively new in this role. Both of these leaders talk about unity and healing. They are the new charge of the Catholic Church and of the royal family of the United Kingdom. Is this meeting likely to be spiritual symbolism? Is this something that maybe is some political messaging that we're seeing that's taking place?
Well, I think it might be a bit of both. I think, firstly, it's spiritual symbolism. It's the symbolism that two churches, the Church of England and the Catholic Church, are coming together after this separation. And that itself has spiritual resonance amongst many, many followers and faithful from both churches, to see them coming together. I mean, you just look, if I look around me where I usually live in England, you have the Catholic Church, you have the Anglican Church, they're working so closely together, and yet there wasn't this sense of spiritual intimacy that this visit brought with it. But of course, there is also at a time when the world is in ebullition, it's uncertain where it's going, that these two coming together also sort of gives the political message that the Anglicans, the Church of England, the Catholic Church, they're working together, and that Christianity is taking a sense, and that sense is one of inclusiveness, one of outreach, and one of, as some people would hope in these days of wars across the whole planet, one of forgiveness and peace.
Dr. Harry, of course, in the backdrop of all of this is the news back at home, and certainly worldwide even, of Prince Andrew as well. Is that clouding somewhat of the King's wider mission at play here?
But today, when in the morning I was doing another interview and somebody told me that, and I said that for the last few weeks, if not months, all we've heard about is what are the secrets coming out day in, day out about Prince Andrew and his associations, ill-advised associations here and there. But I said, for one day only, let us forget Prince Andrew and let us focus on King Charles III and Pope Leo XIV in order to have some good news rather than constantly harping on bad news. But of course, you're right. I mean, inevitably, we're all human beings. And when we see these pictures of them standing together, at the end of the day, Charles is the brother of Andrew. And therefore, there is always that pressure, that stress, that uncertainty, that question of what is going to come out from the Pandora's box next. So in a sense, that would inevitably tarnish a little bit the image of anything that the Supreme Governor of the Church of England, the King Charles, would do. But then again, if I can take you for 1 minute, Jono, to what happened outside the Sistine Chapel when the meeting with the Pope ended and King Charles went to the Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls, just a little walk outside the Vatican City itself, he was offered a chair. And this was a special chair that was crafted for him and put in the apse of the Basilica. And what was written on it was a Latin inscription, Ut unum sint, that may they be one. And I think at the end of the day, today, it's more the may they be one than what is happening, whether it's because of the all the stories we're hearing, whether it's sex, whether it's this, whether it's that. So I'm hoping that it will be a positive bit of news that will lighten up the mood a bit and give people a jolt to look at the positive and not only at the negative.
And it's been a multi-faith kind of couple of days for King Charles. He was paying a visit to a synagogue in Manchester following that fatal attack as well. Is that somewhat of an attempt by King Charles as the head of the Church of England to soften ties between all faiths?
No, yes, in the sense, clearly, that is a fact. I mean, that is what he was doing, and that is what the role of the king and before him his mother, the Queen, had to do, to go and soften the situation, make things better, try to heal wounds, try to heal rifts. But let us not also forget that this is not new for King Charles. I mean, since donkey's years that I've either heard of his activities or known him a little bit, we all know that King Charles has two things that have been quintessential to him in his life. One was the interfaith issues. He's very big on that. Interfaith, particularly with the three monotheistic traditions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And the other one is basically on issues to do with creation. And in a sense, the theme of this visit that was chosen for him when he arrived in Rome yesterday evening basically blended both together, interfaith and creation together. And I think he is at his happiest when he talks about these things. When he goes to the Sistine Chapel, he loves music. When he goes and listens to that music, these are the things that make him happy. And at the end of the day, this was supposed and is a joyous occasion. So why not do it on those issues that are closest to his heart, as well as to those of Pope Leo XIV.
And Harry, one final question before I let you go today. There is the fashion stakes, which were high, and we've seen Queen Camilla in a rather dour outfit, but very good reasoning behind that as well. And this stems back to tradition when a papal visit ensues.
There is a tradition there. Not everybody has subscribed to this tradition, Jono, but most women who've come to meet any pontiff, any pope, be that Leo, be that Francis, be that any of the predecessors, there is the tradition that they should wear something in black. And Queen Camilla subscribed to that tradition. And if you noticed, or some of the viewers who might have been tempted to watch some of the pictures that came out afterwards, for instance, when they went to the Basilica outside, when they went to the Pontifical Beda College, etc., when she was there meeting with the nuns while the king was talking to the fraternity of Commonwealth people, be they ambassadors, be they trainee priests, be they other people, she changed into a white dress. So yes, she subscribed to that tradition. And as you well know, tradition is something that has not been completely yet expunged from our lives in the UK in the 21st century.
Dr. Harry, thank you so much for joining us.